Have you ever heard the whispers carried on the winds of the Ozark Mountains? Tales of strange creatures and forgotten evils. Tonight, we journey to the small town of Shoals, Arkansas, a place that once found itself under a terrifying siege. For weeks, a shadow had fallen over the community. Not just any shadow, but a thirsting ancient darkness. A nest of vampires had claimed the town as their hunting ground. Every sunset brought a new wave of fear, as residents barricaded their doors, knowing that the night belonged to the hunters. The vampires were relentless, striking without warning, leaving a trail of sorrow and lifeless bodies in their wake. The townspeople were trapped, their pleas for help seemingly lost to the endless night. One evening, as the last sliver of sun vanished behind the hills, the air grew heavy, thick with a familiar, dreadful silence. The town held its breath, waiting for the inevitable horror. But then, a sound ripped through the quiet. Not a scream of a victim, but a deep, guttural howl that echoed from the dense forest surrounding the town. It was a sound of legend, a cry that sent a different kind of shiver down the spine. The Ozark Howler, a creature spoken of only in hushed tones and campfire stories, had answered the town's desperate cries. Known for its savage ferocity and unyielding courage, this legendary beast had emerged from its ancient domain. The vampires, drawn out by the scent of fear, suddenly hesitated. They knew this sound. They knew they were no longer the only predators in the dark. As the pale, shadowy figures of the vampires slinked from the alleys and rooftops, they were met by the terrifying form of the Howler. It was larger than any wolf, with eyes that burned like embers and a cry that shook the very ground. Without a moment's pause, the Howler charged. It was a whirlwind of claws and teeth, a force of nature unleashed. It tore through the vampire's ranks, its powerful jaws snapping, its sharp claws rending the unnatural flesh of the undead. The vampires, so accustomed to being the hunters, were stunned by this sudden, brutal assault. They were caught completely off guard, their coordinated attack dissolving into chaos as they faced the raw fury of the Ozark legend. The Howler fought with the spirit of the mountains themselves, a guardian roused from its slumber. But even with its incredible strength, the Howler was outnumbered. The vampires, though shocked, began to regroup, their ancient cunning returning. They started to surround the lone beast, their hisses filling the air as they prepared to overwhelm it. The Howler knew it couldn't win this fight alone. It needed help. Miles away, deep within a hidden cave system, another ancient being stirred. The Gowrow, a mythical reptile of immense size and even greater intelligence, had also sensed the town's plight. The Gowrow wasn't just a creature of brute force. Its power lay in its mind, its legendary cunning, and a secret ability few could comprehend. Responding to the psychic echo of terror and the Howler's defiant roar, the Gowrow began to move, its massive form slithering through the earth, making its way toward Shoals. Just as the vampires began to close in on the embattled Howler, the ground trembled. The Gowrow arrived, a truly awe-inspiring sight. It didn't just join the physical fight. Instead, it reached out with its mind, its powerful telepathic voice, speaking directly into the consciousness of the Ozark Howler. It was a silent, perfect communication. The Gowrow, with its strategic intellect, guided the Howler's primal fury. It pointed out the leader, identified weaknesses, and coordinated a masterful counterattack. Dodge left. Strike the one in the back. Lure them toward the old quarry. Working in perfect unison, the raw power of the Howler and the brilliant tactics of the Gowrow became an unstoppable combination. They fought not as two separate creatures, but as a single avenging entity. Together, they drove the terrified vampires back, not just defeating them, but herding them back toward their foul lair, sealing them within the earth, away from the world of the living. With the vampires vanquished and sealed away, a profound peace settled over Shoals for the first time in weeks. As dawn broke, the townspeople emerged, not to find more tragedy, but to see their streets safe. The Ozark Howler and the Gowrow, their duty done, retreated back into the mysterious heart of the mountains, disappearing as quickly as they had arrived. From that night on, the people of Shoals looked to the surrounding forests, not with fear, but with respect and gratitude. They knew they weren't alone. They knew that in the deepest parts of the Ozarks, legendary guardians were watching over them, ready to protect their home from any evil that dared to threaten it. The tale of that night became a new legend, a reminder that even in our darkest hours, help can come from the most unexpected and mythic of places. Thanks for joining me on this journey into American folklore. If you love stories of strange creatures and hidden legends, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more adventures into the unknown. See you next time.